well? Yes. Thank you. Hello, my name is Ryan Krieger. My daughter and son both go here to elementary school. First thing with the K-4 program that you need to remember is that times have changed. Parents are not home. Both parents mainly have to work, okay? So daycares also have to change. I am here to speak about the K-4 program because I think it's needed. I drop my son off every single day at daycare, and when he ends up coming home, he's provided a nice place. This was my aunt's daycare. It's in town, but it's not the educational needs that he needs. It is not the educational needs of what he needs. In fact, we are behind 90% of schools in Wisconsin alone, behind not providing that service for our kids. When do their brains develop the most? Ages 0 to 5. We are getting them too late. Plain and simple. Who will provide you a better education? A trained professional or someone with without a college education working at a daycare as a job, not as a career? Frequently, they exchange teachers throughout the course of the year 2 or 3 times. Their turnover is huge. Their curriculum, you don't have a curriculum. You don't have set lesson plans at these daycares. You don't have things that they have to learn. You don't have structured time. You have playtime. Okay? My son knows how to play. He doesn't know how to identify letters, words. He can sing songs. But he's not getting the education that he needs in this daycare setting, which is why I'm moving him out of the daycare setting. All right. Furthermore, we're on the top at high school. Our teachers are doing a phenomenal job. I'm very happy with the school district. But what's the one way to stay on top? By doing everything that is possible for our kids to make sure that they are becoming educated as soon as possible. And as far as the studies are concerned, we can't look at Head Start. I'm glad so many people brought that up. That's comparing apples to oranges. We need to quit looking at Head Start. We need to take a look at community statistics that are similar to ours. The Pewaukee idea, phenomenal. Go ahead and have a conversation with that superintendent over there. That would be an awesome conversation. Find out what pros and cons are. There's going to be some obvious downfalls and positives to it, but figure out what they did, how fast they went into the program, how quickly they got it started. I love the idea of go ahead and starting Title I program as a way to go ahead and start it out. That would be great for year 1, but we can't drop the ball on this. I don't think it should be next year or put it off. We need to go ahead and get the ball rolling to figure out if it's going to work for us. And last but not least, why don't we look at the psychological data of the importance of brain development at a young age, as opposed to all of these other statistics and whatnot. The brain development of kids at a young age 4. There's plenty of statistics out there for them, but the need is there. And it's your job to go ahead and maybe get a community of people together, of kids who are going to be affected by this, and have a conversation with them, because these are my kids, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for my kids. My kids will be educated. We moved here for the sole reason of our education system. I'm not happy with the daycare system, but I'm extremely happy with the schooling system. So if I can get my kid in as soon as possible, he's going to be better off. And that's why I'm here to advocate for the K-4 program. So that's all I have. Thank you. Thank you.
Any others?
Good evening, Matt. My daughter attends Woodfield Kindergarten, and it was interesting to listen to the guest speaker tonight because he informed me of some things that I really wasn't aware of. Kind of helps me as I develop my viewpoint on this issue because it is not one that's made up. But it seemed to me, he said that this is actually a cost positive issue for the district, that first and second year some expenses, but third year is surplus, and I think he said after 5 years, some districts actually were cash positive on it. The way this board and past boards has run the district, it seems like you would have a similar experience. You've done a very good job, obviously, and we've had some surplus lately, maybe in the past too. But from a parent's perspective, we've been very happy with the preschool that we've paid for in the community. But when my daughter was in kindergarten this past year and she came home, and my wife actually had this experience when she helped out in the classroom, and there were really some students who weren't adapting well just to the social setting of a classroom and all-day kindergarten. And that was an eye-opener several times. And the teacher, of course, always did an excellent job. But one time my wife had to help get all the students out of the classroom while a very needy student was having an issue, and again, handled very professionally, no concern about that. But I am growing concerned about, or I hear some of the benefits when we talk about language, when we talk about having a curriculum that is more dictated by this district because it's ultimately funding the program. So if my daughter or my future kids are in kindergarten, it seems to be a real positive to me that they would now be surrounded by children who had all came from a more uniform and appropriate preschool experience. I think it might really help the kindergarten teacher move on with their goals. And I understand some of you're talking about, would the 4K teacher have the same problem as the kindergarten teacher? I'm sure they would, and that would be a really good thing because a lot of those kinks would be worked out, a lot of the social dilemmas that the children are dealing with, as well as being surrounded by, a discussion for half a day of a teacher and other students helping with the language development. It seems like it would be a real bonus for our kindergarten students as they move through. So again, to take away that some of these benefits are maybe not that easy to put into a study, or if you try to focus it just on early childhood, it seems like it's cash positive, which really it's a short term, not so much long run, 3 to 5 years. So that's a bonus for the taxpayers in the community. And again, like what the past speaker said, I also moved here a year ago. Really, the number one decision simply was the district. We did not want to move into the Burlington district. We wanted the Waterford graded and Waterford High School. And I do also want to, that's why I'm here tonight and in passing, really my goal is to make sure that this district continues in the direction it's gone and maybe continues to put the pedal to the metal and accelerate at doing so well. Thanks a lot for this opportunity.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just want to clarify, there's no such thing as cash positive.
Yeah.
The taxpayer paid for it. We're funded at less than 30%.
Process is also statewide or federal process.
You're funded less than 75%.
Locally, it's not cash positive?
Never. We're funded at 30-some%.
I think we need to make decisions based on what's best for the students.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.